Are you struggling to run integration tests that depend on another pipeline? It can be a real headache when your application needs the latest version of your API, but the trigger only queues the pipeline. Don't worry, you're not alone in this. I totally get it. You have two different project repositories, your application and your API. You want to ensure that your application uses the latest version of the API when running tests. It's frustrating when the trigger just queues the API pipeline and moves on. Here's the specific situation. One user asked how to wait for the API pipeline to finish before running their integration tests. They shared their setup, but the trigger only queues the API pipeline without waiting for it to complete. Sound familiar? Let's explore how to solve this. So what's happening here? When you trigger the API pipeline, it starts the process but doesn't wait for it to finish before moving on to the integration tests. This can lead to failures if the API isn't ready yet. Let's break down how to address this. And stick around, I'll share a solution that ensures your integration tests only run after the API pipeline has completed successfully. You won't want to miss this. To ensure the integration tests wait for the API pipeline to finish, the user can utilize the GitLab CI/CD feature called pipeline triggers with a wait command. This allows the integration tests to pause until the API deployment is complete. The user should modify the integration test job to include a wait command after triggering the API pipeline. This can be done by adding a specific command that checks the status of the triggered pipeline. Next, the user should implement a loop that checks the status of the API pipeline until it is complete. This ensures that the integration tests only run after the API is fully deployed. Finally, the user can proceed to run the integration tests after confirming that the API pipeline has successfully completed. This guarantees that the tests are executed with the latest API version. Fun fact: did you know that the first automated tests were run on paper? Imagine waiting for your tests to finish on a piece of paper instead of a pipeline. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. Currently, it's not possible to wait for one pipeline to finish before starting another in GitLab. There are existing issues related to this functionality that you can check out for more information. Your best option is to support these issues to help prioritize a solution. That's all for that response. Let's see what someone else had to say. One user faced a similar challenge and created a Python utility to handle the pipeline triggering and waiting process. You can find this tool on GitHub under the name Pipeline Commander. Here's a pro tip. Always use the needs keyword in your CI/CD configurations. It helps manage dependencies effectively and ensures that jobs run in the correct order. And there you have it. By setting up job dependencies, your integration tests will run only after the API pipeline has completed. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more tips and tricks.